evening in 2014 remains frozen in my soul. On my way home from school, I was thinking about my math test, but the moment I opened the front door, a strange echo hit me. It was the sound of absolute emptiness. The sofa in the living room, the fake smiling family photo on the wall, even the rug on the floor. Everything was gone. My heart sank. I ran through the upstairs rooms, screaming, "Mom! Dad! Michael!" But only my own voice bounced back from the bare walls. On the granite kitchen counter sat a single yellow sticky note. In my father's crooked handwriting, it said, "You'll figure it out." That was it. No address, no phone number, no explanation. They had abandoned their 17-year-old daughter in an empty house like a piece of old junk, without a single dollar or any support. In that moment, I realized I was never a human being to them. I was just a burden they finally decided to dump. Standing there, my entire childhood flashed before my eyes. I remembered being 13 and baking a lemon cake for my mother using my small savings. She didn't even taste it. She called it clumpy and raw before throwing it straight into the trash. I remembered my first job at 16, proudly handing my entire paycheck to my father to help with the bills. He took the money and scolded me simply because I was 10 minutes late getting home. Love, for them, was a transaction, and I was always in debt. The next day, the landlord dropped a bombshell. My parents hadn't paid rent in 3 months and had broken the lease to flee. I had only 7 days to pack my few belongings. When relatives stopped answering my calls, I used my last $200 to rent a metal storage unit. That 10 by 10 iron box became my new home. Every night, when the heavy padlock clicked from the outside, it felt like I was sleeping in my own grave. During those winter months, the walls of the storage unit became as cold as ice. I slept curled up in an old sleeping bag. Before dawn, I would bike to a nearby YMCA, pretending to be a member to sneak into the showers for hot water. With no way to cook, I survived for weeks on nothing but peanut butter. The burning sensation of hunger was a constant reminder that I couldn't fall. I had to rise. I sent hundreds of emails from free library computers. Finally, I found a night shift waitressing job at an old diner. The work was exhausting. My feet were covered in blisters, and customers were often rude. But the manager, Mrs. Gruff, saw the fire in my eyes. One night, when I collapsed at the counter from exhaustion, instead of firing me, she gave me a place to sleep in the break room and fed me leftovers. It was the first drop of kindness I had tasted in years. 7. Education in the dark. When the world slept, I sat in the library watching free YouTube tutorials. I taught myself coding, digital marketing, and personal finance. I learned how to turn $5 into $10. I kept every single receipt in a file. I knew education was the ladder that would pull me out of this pit. I set small goals. First a room, then a laptop, then my own identity. My luck changed when a regular customer at the diner gave me a chance to organize his office data. I did the job with such precision that he gave me more work. By 22, I was a freelance consultant. At 25, I founded Futures Consulting. My office was just a folding table and an old laptop, but it was mine. By 27, I had 5 employees and a long line of major clients. I will always remember that morning at age 29. I opened my banking app and saw my net worth exceed $1 million. Standing on the balcony of my luxury apartment, looking down at the streets, I wanted to scream and cry at the same time. I looked back at the girl who had slept hungry in a storage unit. I had proven I wasn't useless. I had figured it out. I shared my story on a podcast. My intention wasn't to belittle anyone, but to give hope to those left behind. The podcast spread like wildfire. Millions listened and shared, but with success came the ghosts of the past. After 12 years, my mother's name appeared in my inbox. There was no apology, just, "Emily, we knew you could do it. We need your help." I met my brother Michael. He looked old and tired. Crying, he said our parents told him I had left home because I was a rebel, but my father's true colors soon emerged in an email. He shamelessly wrote that his business had failed. He was $50,000 in debt and facing eviction. He said, "You're rich now, and family helps each other. Give us the money, or we'll tell the world how heartless you are." When I refused, they became manic. My mother sent a fake photo of herself on a ventilator, claiming she had a heart attack. When I didn't budge, my father broke into Michael's house and stole essential documents and my niece Lily's childhood albums. They began screaming outside my apartment. "Look at this rich daughter, letting her old parents starve!" Refused to run anymore. I called my lawyer Marcus. We gathered every threatening message, email, and evidence of stalking. We prepared a strong case. My brother Michael stood by me now. He realized that the parents he had served for years were actually toxic people who only viewed us as resources. The courtroom was silent. My parents tried to play the victims, crying before the jury, but then Marcus presented the sticky note. "You'll figure it out." The judge looked my father in the eye and asked, "Did you leave your 17-year-old minor child alone in an empty house without any support?" My father's voice trembled. The judge immediately issued a permanent restraining order and fined them $10,000. Today, my brother Michael, his wife Jenny, and their daughter Lily live in a beautiful house near mine. We have built a new world without those toxic shadows. We have dinner together every Sunday, and Lily calls me the best auntie. 12 years ago, that note said, "You'll figure it out," and I truly did. I didn't just find success. I learned that family isn't built on blood, but on loyalty and love. My past is no longer my weakness. It is my greatest strength.